Oh! To 1 cup of flour, we are adding a teaspoon of salt and about half cup of hot water. We stir the flour until it becomes a nice dough ball. We'll knead it shortly. It's going to be a wet dough, so we wanted it as wet as possible, not too wet where it is just constantly not forming a ball, but wet enough so that when you are making the dumplings, it sticks. I'm going to dust some flour on top so that it forms into a nice ball while still remaining the wet consistency. We wrap the dough in a plastic sheet and refrigerate this for 30 minutes. What I have here is 200 grams of chicken. You can use tofu or any other vegetarian option you like. I'm adding just a little bit of mushrooms and Chinese cabbage. We'll mix this so that all of the vegetables are nicely incorporated. To this, I'm adding my homemade chili sauce. About 1 tablespoon soya sauce. And 1 tablespoon rice vinegar. Finally, I'm adding 3 tablespoons of garlic and 1 teaspoon of red chilies. Now, for the final touch, we mix it. Now, this chicken filling needs to rest for at least half an hour for all of the flavors to soak in. So I've dusted my flour. I have my dough here. I'm taking a coin-sized piece from the dough and I'm making it into a nice ball. I'm flattening it on the surface and make sure that's evenly coated with the flour. Then I'm going to roll it. So I'm really bad at rolling circles. That's why I have this handy tool over here to cut circles for me. You can get them from any kitchen stores. They're like cookie cutters. You just ask for them and they'll give it to you. You get the circular kinds. If you're wanting to do wontons, then you can get the square ones. Now, how thin do you want them? You want them thin enough where you can see a light shade of your own fingers through the dough. If it's too much, you can see a lot of your finger, you have gone through too much of the rolling. You want just a light shade of your fingers. So for me, this is the perfect amount of rolling I need to do. I'm taking my cookie cutter and then I'm nicely just getting a shape for myself. And this extra dough will be reused for more dumplings. Now let me show you how to shape the dumplings. It's quite easy actually, but it does take a lot of practice to get the right shape. We're going to take a small spoon of this chicken, okay? We're going to make sure that there's no excess water on there. Take the wrapper on your left hand and take the chicken and put it in the center. Then, while your left hand is like this, you take your right hand, you squeeze the edge, and then using your left hand's finger, you guide and fold it like this. Even I cannot do it perfectly, but as long as it looks pretty, right? Then what I do is, once it's folded, I take the top part and I just squeeze the top. That way, it gives you the pretty look. If you can do this at home, you're more than enough. I'm not a professional, so mine is a little shabby, but if you can do this at home, then it is more than enough to impress anybody. So now, for the dumplings, we're going to prepare a nice sauce that we're going to pour over it. I've added 1 spoon of garlic into the bowl, 1 tablespoon of my chili oil, Abhav Malhotra's chili oil, 1 tablespoon soya sauce, and about a tablespoon of rice vinegar. Now we're going to nicely stir this. We're going to heat this pan up nicely and add a spoon of oil into it, just to lightly cover the pan so that the dumplings don't break in there. You need a flat surface. A non-stick pan is preferable. So nicely coat the bottom of the pan. We're going to make pot stickers. Once this oil begins to heat, we will add the dumplings to it and let the base crisp up nicely. We will add the dumplings to it. The water is all dried out now. The dim sums are completely cooked. We have this beautiful sauce ready for it, and all we have to do is on the hot flame, just pour the sauce into the pan and let the dumplings absorb these flavors. I'm going to cover the pan and let the dumplings take it in. I'm just pouring of the extra sauce all over the dumplings. And I'm garnishing it with some green onions. Now this is how you make the chili oil dumplings. It is absolutely tasty.